Welcome back. As an adult, I truly believe that we have responsibility towards our youth and to help them and to understand that they're not all going to be able to achieve the same levels that we would like them to do, or the same levels of someone else that you've heard about. So I think that, Onella, I'm not saying that you are an exception to the rule. I actually admire what you've said earlier, especially regarding you saying, well, I wasn't I wasn't any good, and then I decided that I'm going to get better because of my parents.
Yeah.
In that same trail of mind, that same kind of thought process, is there any way that adults and parents can say, do you know what? It's time for us to change the way that we think about a young person, especially that young person is trying to achieve. Is there a way that we should, or do you think that adults should start thinking, well, what can we do to help?
Well, I know that when I was studying, all I wanted from my parents was to know that they would be there for me even though I fail or pass. Because sometimes when you really feel down, all you want is a hug, and that's really true. I hug my mom when I'm feeling stressed, and that really encourages me more. Also, they can show interest in the study, because when your parents is interested in something, you can study it and then relay the information to them, making both of you all smarter at the same time. Yeah.
But do you think that somewhere along the line, has your dad started showing any signs of, hey, that's my girl, I want to make sure that she's
yes.
Yeah, okay,
Yeah.
tell me what your dad says. He can start laughing when he sees you. What does he say?
He really brags about it. Sometimes I'm really embarrassed about it.
But he's a proud father. He's a proud daddy. So good for him. But does he worry, or does he give you the kind of little warnings like, you know, you're on the right track? Don't let any boy come and tell you.
No.
He hasn't said that to you?
No.
And what about your mom?
Well, my mother, she told me that last night.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. But do you understand why?
Yeah.
Okay. You going to listen?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you will. But because you know what you want to do. You know, when you were growing up, did your parents actually say to you, the reason why you have to study or do well in school is because when you get older, you're going to have to look after yourself and so on and so forth? Did they ever say anything like that to you?
Well, to some extent. Well, you know that you have to study and then get a job, and then afterwards you can have fun and live your life. Yeah.
What if your parents had disciplined you in other ways, you know, in terms of, well, you can't go and see your friends, you know, they wouldn't purchase certain things that you asked for. Would that have kind of stopped anything the way that you feel right now?
I think it might have, because the resources that my mother gets me, the books, maybe I wouldn't have had those resources if she didn't buy it for me. So,
but going back to what I asked originally regarding adults, generally speaking, how do you think that adults could help the youth of today to think more of themselves so that they will want to achieve? Because I think a lot of it is about thinking and feeling that you can do it. Because when people talk a lot and say, oh, you know, you can't do this, you're not capable, it kind of, it puts you down. It doesn't make you don't always fight. You don't always have that fire in your belly to prove everybody wrong. What can we do as adults?
they should really motivate them.
In what way? It's not very often you're going to get this platform to tell adults, generally speaking, of course. In what way can we stop and help?
Motivate them,
Motivate the young people.
Tell them that they can do it. They, because my mother did tell me that I can do it.
Yeah, but you know, the young people that I've spoken to have said to me that they just say, go and do your homework. And that's it. And, you know, go inside, do your homework. and they expect you to stay there, and some of them don't even check to see that they are doing the homework. They just say, are you doing your homework? They'll shout, you go, yes, mommy, you know. So in a way, we could, as adults, pay more attention. When we say, go and do your homework, make sure that it's being done in terms of, okay, you're going in at 7 o'clock, pop in at 7:30 to see and have a look at the textbook. But when I've spoken to adults about this, they also say that they wish they could help, but things are being taught differently now.
Yeah.
And that's very true, especially when it comes to English and even maths.
Yeah.
The process of getting an answer. You know, I remember when my son used to say, oh, Mom, I've got this sum to do. And we'd get the right answer, but he'd say, you know, sometimes when we got different answers, he'd say, well, Mom, how did you get that? And I would go through the procedure, and he'd go, you know, like, no, you know. And when he showed me his process, I was like, gosh, this is completely different. This is not the way that I was taught. Now, I'm saying all this because we adults, and I'm sure your parents will tell you that we try our best.
Yeah.
We do try our best to do what's right, but we can't always, because we need our young people to talk to us. We need our young people to tell us how we can talk to us. So that's why I'm looking to you to help our people, our parents, our guardians. How do we talk to our, okay, here's another way of looking at it. Are there any words or phrases that you think adults should avoid when talking to young people? I can remember people say that, oh, you're dumb.
Yeah.
You know, and if you hear it enough, you start believing it. Which sounds silly. It's just like when people, you know, are in relationships that aren't good for them. People say, "Oh, you're not going to get anyone better than me." And after a while, people start, you know, thinking about that. Is there anything at all that you can think of that, okay, you personally speaking, what to you would be one of the most frustrating things in life? Now that you're trying to be a gynecologist, what would be frustrating for you?
Getting compared. I don't like when my parents compare me to other people. Like, yeah, when they compare you, they put you down, make you think that you cannot be as good as that person. So
you think comparison is putting down? Because when you compare someone, sometimes it's actually a good thing, isn't it? If you're comparing them to someone who is, you know, perhaps in the field that you're trying to be part of, someone who's a good role model, don't you think that a comparison could be a good thing?
To some extent, but it can also put you down. Like they'll say, why can't you be as good as that person, and that will make you feel bad. And then
you know, that's a very, very good point, because that happens not just to the young people, it happens a lot in mature and adult relationships, always comparing in that respect. Yes, I can see that would demotivate you and sometimes make you think, oh gosh, you know, why am I even bothering, you know?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, so this is the Dolor Factor. We'll be right back.